Hey everybody, Belinda Sandor here with Lynn. I am so excited to bring Lynn's story to you today. So thanks for coming, Lynn. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to know, where were you in terms of your business before you started VA school? So tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. I have a background in education. So I was a teacher, and they said, "Oh, become a teacher." And I loved helping out and everything. So I got my teaching degree and then graduated and couldn't find a job.
Oh,
So it led me overseas to South Korea and Thailand. So I was over there for like about 10 years. And so I had created a life and, working as a teacher. And all the meanwhile, my mom, single mom, has been living over in Canada by herself. And every year she's like, "Oh, when are you going to come back?" And whatnot. So finally, late 2018, I finally made the decision to come back and kind of start helping out with that component of building a stronger relationship with my mom and just helping her to retire her as soon as possible. So I knew if I was over in Thailand that I wouldn't be able to do that. And I was also getting really burnt out from teaching. It's a tough job being a teacher. So yeah, I just needed a break, and I totally wanted to be location independent. So I had tried a few different things and put my hands into some business stuff, and I learned a lot, but I wasn't successful at doing that. And so I had a conversation with one of my good friends, and they're like, "Hey, you're always helping people out with tech stuff, and, a lot of people would really benefit from your help." So we came up with the idea of, "Oh, hey, let's maybe I can be a virtual assistant," right? So that's kind of how it started and how it developed. And honestly, when I started VA school, it wasn't that much earlier that I had decided to do, like, launch my VA business.
mm-hmm.
So it was almost at the same time. I got my first client in March, but I started VA school in April. So it was pretty close. And I'm really grateful that that happened instead of like starting so much ahead of time and then stumbling on VA school. So I'm really grateful that it was like at the same time I was launching, and then VA school came along, and it was the best decision I've made.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what's a lot of people have been asking me lately, can I start my business before 6 months, or do I have to wait until the 6 months passes? And you can start right away, just like you did. And then you started your own referral engine, didn't you? Because you've had lots of clients come to you through referrals. So can you talk about that a little bit?
So one of the main components that I've learned from VA school is that referral is the best way to get connected with people that you actually want to work with. Doing cold calls and like social media posts is very time consuming, and the quality of those leads are not the best, right? And
Right.
when you mention like, okay, like if you're looking for a dentist, you're going to ask a friend, and then that friend's going to be like, "Hey, I have a great dentist, hopefully," and refer you, right? So it works the same way. And that idea of being referred to someone that can help you is probably the best approach in building a referral engine. So working with clients like that, all my clients have been referred. So I'm happy and excited about that process.
That's awesome. So since you started VA school, how has your view of being a VA changed?
When I started first thinking about being a VA, I was like, well, who's doing this? And is that an actual thing that people can do? Can I actually do, like, have my own business as a VA? And so my view my view of being a VA was a bit skeptical before I joined VA school, and but now my view has totally changed, and I also thought that I would be either alone, like completely, like I don't know any other VAs, or if I did meet a VA, that I would be like in direct competition with them. But all of that kind of nonsense is now nonsense, right? Like I don't believe, I believe that there can be a bazillion VAs and still have like work available for all of us. So that kind of set my mind at ease, and I'm not in competition with anyone because there's only one me, and if we're fit, then we're good to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's such a relief for a lot of people because, we're used to competing with other people and you just don't have to. You just don't have to. So when you started out, so you said that you were skeptical, which I totally can understand. Did you have fears and doubts about being a VA? What was it going to work?
For sure. I think it's really natural to have fears and doubts as being a human being, but I've been working consistently on shifting my perspective and my attitude with everything that I do. And so, yes, there was fear and doubts, but VA school is a really great place to practice overcoming those fears and doubts. And you do a really good job of supporting that. And I really believe that your mindset is foundational to whatever success you want to acquire in VA school or in whatever you do. So mindset is a big component. And if you kind of work on that consistently and daily, then the fears and doubts start becoming like excitement and like, like, oh, I get to do this, right? So shifting your perspective is a really great way to move away from fear and doubt.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, and you're right. It's a daily process, right? It's not like I'm going to fix my mindset and then I'm going to be fine. So yes, mindset is a big part of VA school. Can you talk about the other kinds of support that you received as a student?
For sure. I always believe like I came into VA school with the attitude of, I'm going to be supported and I'm going to do everything in my power to support my other classmates and just the people that are going on this journey with me. So from the very beginning, the support has been tremendous on your side. There hasn't been any issues with anything. If I had an issue, I felt supported and I felt that my answers or my questions were answered. And now our class specifically, we have like an accountability chat group and we're on it consistently and people chime in and try to help out. And, there's been a lot of problems or challenges that I've resolved really quickly because of the support that I've had. And it's kind of like the byproduct of signing up for VA school. Like you said before, you didn't really know that was going to be a thing. But, when you are around this same energy of people wanting to accomplish a similar goal, we can all like achieve that a lot quicker and go a lot further when we're doing it together. So the support has been tremendous and very, very valuable to me.
And just so you guys know, Lynn is so committed to this, and I am so inspired by her commitment to this, like really inspired by it, that she has been voted class president. She has been voted class president, which I love. I love. So, I want to thank you for everything that you've brought to the class. Lynn her group started in April, and they're going to be graduating pretty soon.
Very soon.
I know. So, here's a question I've got for you.
Yep.
What was your biggest aha from VA school? You went in, everyone goes in to stuff with, expectations about what it's going to be, what it's not going to be. What was the thing that you thought, oh, wow, I didn't expect that?
For me personally, I had to do a lot of work with, like building my confidence and having like self-worth, right? Like with all the things that I was doing a lot of things, but I still was dealing with like, oh, am I good enough? Or like, I need to be perfect in doing this before I can feel successful. So a big component of that was um, I guess articulating my worth to my clients and within my business. And you helped me with that a lot. And it was a big aha moment when I was like, hey, Belinda's set up this debit card system. It's so simple. It gives people, the flexibility, your clients the flexibility of like paying you for what you're getting, but also I get paid first and I don't have to worry about, doing all this work and then like having the like payment conversation. So the money like charging and doing all that was a really big aha moment for me. And your debit card system is simple, but it's super effective. And I've
Mhm.
been implementing that with all of my clients except for my first client. So it's been really good. And I can already tell the difference between the two and how some of the issues that I've had to deal with the client that I wasn't on the debit card system compared to my other clients that are on the debit card system. It's like kind of like, okay, we're on the same page and there's no more discussion that needs to be like discussed afterwards.
Right. Right. It's funny because a lot of VAs are afraid to ask for the money up front. And I haven't had any, but well, I say I had one person push back and I caved and they never paid me.
Right.
Right. So, but the other 225 people that I work with, always just no problem, no problem, no problem. So that's awesome. So talk to me about the VA lifestyle. So how does that work in your life?
Well, VA lifestyle is the best lifestyle. I've always had like like the desire to be nomadic. And I love traveling and I love adventures and I love going, to new places and seeing new things. So I've always had a travel bug and I've wanted that lifestyle for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't really until, I did my stint of teaching and then coming back to Canada when I realized I was like, I don't want another job that's going to lock me into a specific location where I don't have the freedom to move around or, take off for a few days or have to, answer to someone that is higher up than me. So I wanted that independence, and being a VA has really allowed me to see that that's possible for me. And I've pursued this path so I would be able to support my mom physically and also be able to, when I retire her, I'll be able to kind of help transport her to back to Vietnam or back to wherever she wants to go visit her sisters or whatever. And I just want to be able to have that freedom to do that for her. And having a VA business of my own is definitely going to get me there a lot quicker and a lot more straightforward than having a traditional job as a teacher or anything that requires me to be in a specific location at a specific time.
I love that. That is so great. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your story. It's really terrific, and thank you for bringing your spirit to everything you do. You are such an inspiration, and I've learned a lot from you about that during VA school. So
Awesome.
thank you for really shining your light bright and being there for all of us. And I appreciate your time and you sharing your story with us.
No problem, Belinda. And I feel really like I belong in VA school, and the connections that I've made, they're going to last a lifetime. And I'm super grateful for that. So thank you.
That's awesome. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you again.